students, myself Subodh sir, welcome you all in the political science class of standard 9. We are discussing about the electoral politics, and while the discussion in the previous video we have gone through the system of election in our country. In the system of elections we have gone through it, and if we see all the scenario in the summarized form, we do find that election in India seems to democratic. Means election is held at regular interval after a gap of 5 years. Sometimes there was the mid-term election also. People have the choice because there are more political parties. India is a country of multi-party system. We have 6 national party, then the state party, then the recognized parties are also there. Among these unrecognized parties, its number increases, means people have the wide variety of choice. Decisions are being made by the elected representatives. The candidates who are being preferred by the peoples are getting elected. It means people give their opinion only to those candidates or the political parties, basically the political parties whose policy just strike the mind of the common people. Can we say in all this one that election that is taking place in India is free and fair? To all these things, to control and make it more and more accurate election, making it free of corruption, we have taken and seen many steps that has been taken by the Election Commission of India. Even after all these happenings, can we say that India's election is free and fair election? It seems that it is a free and fair election. No doubt, in some constituency it is free and fair election. Does it is applicable in all the constituency? If we are talking about the national government where the election take place on the 543 constituency. Out of these 543 constituency, is it fair at every places? We cannot certainly say that it is free and fair at all the places. Because we have discussed and know that political party uses muscles power and money power to win the election. There are many tricks that they are using it. If we see the newly elected candidates of 2019 election, in the 2019 Lok Sabha election, which was the 17th Lok Sabha election, 543, how many candidates are there who has the criminal records? Because we know that the peoples having the criminal records may sideline the candidates who are the supposed to be the real candidate for the democratic purpose. Political party also give the ticket to this type of candidates so that this candidate may win it. Why so? Simply because the main aim of the political party is to contest election, win it, and form the government. You may ask why the election commission is not stopping this type of people from contesting election. Election commission cannot stop it because as far as we read out and go through the criteria, a person cannot be stopped and restricted from contesting election only on the ground that he had a criminal charge against him. It is simply made clear that the candidate, if he has been given by punishment by the court, means convicted by the court, only on that ground a candidate cannot contest election. Otherwise, if the charges are there, even though the candidate contest election. And this type of the Dabang peoples that we say, these peoples may the sideline the other leaders who have no such type of background. If we see the data, one is ADS. It is associations of democratic reforms. Associations of democratic reforms established in 1999. It is non-government, non-political parties. It is an NGO, non-government organization. Its main duty is to suggest the reform in the election of India. How to make the democratic election more free and fair. The data that is collect, it says that if they say if we take the election of 2009, they say there was 30% candidates who had the criminal record against them. Then they say in 2014 it increased and it went around 34%. And they say if we take the 2019, it went up further higher level at the 43%. They say if we see the political party, there is not a single political party whose candidate, if we say, who has not the criminal record. I'm not saying about all the political parties, because there are many political parties whose number of winning candidate is very less. Somewhere it counts in the 1 or 2. But major political parties, if we take out the major political party, BJP and Congress. If we take out the BJP and Congress, their candidates for the record of the having the criminal records, it is much more. BJP around, it is going around roughly, I am talking not the exact figure, is roughly figure is there, it is 38% and it goes around 57%. whatever the data that is given, they have collected the data of 539 candidates out of 543. One is vacant, means out of 542 one is vacant. They have the data collected of 539. They say that BJP has 116 candidates and it has 28 or 29 candidates. At least this is the data. So it is a challenge in front of the Election Commission to make the election free and fair. These peoples uses the muscles power for the threatening of threatening the candidates who don't have such type of background, and they manage to win it. And when they manage to win it, simply they do the work in their favors. So as we think that democratic is the better government, it is for the peoples, then in these situations we have to forget about it. In between, the corruptions arises that you have read it. Why democracy is not the better form of government? It arises. Once our late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi had told that if the central government releases 1 rupees for the poor people's, means grassroots level, then they are able to get only 15 paise. The rest 85 paise is being distributed among these layers, where the elected representative also play a vital role. So when these type of candidates are elected, these are a challenge for the free and fair election. That's why we find there are many demerits in the democratic government. And I just think if it has been excluded, and not only 15% is reaching to the peoples, all the 100% is reaching to the peoples. Then see what would be the development of the country. If only 15% is reaching, if we are seeing this development, the 100% would come, then what would be the rates of development? Not only we have to restrict ourselves on the candidates with the criminal records, we also see the millionaires peoples who uses the money power to win it. This data says, according to ADS gives the data that 83% of the newly elected candidate, they are millionaires, crorepati hai. It means this simply shows that there is a much influence of the money power, and they are using the money power to such a great extent that they are winning it. How the money powers? Because the most section of the society are poor. They are being given the money in their support. So take this monies, vote for me. People who are illiterate, they don't understand what is the good for them, that we have read already. It is a demerit of democracy. The illiterate people who are the poor one also, they do not understand what is the good for them. So when they are being bribed, instead we can say the bribe, the candidates bribe the people's voters. They think that what will happen if they vote for this party, not that party. क्या होगा, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Because these people are not able to do the rational decision about the policies. They are not able to understand about the effect of the government policy, national as well as the international. If they are not able to take the decisions, that's why the right candidates are not being elected. Then who are elected? The candidates with the either with the criminal records and with the money powers, they are able to reach the parliament. That's why it is, can say it is a challenge to the democratic, and it is challenge how to control this one in front of the election commission also. After these two the things, the use of money power, use of muscles power, data is keep on increasing, even though the election commission is trying their hard to correct it. You may be very much surprised that in the 2019 election that has been taken place in 2019 elections, the government itself spent rupees 46 per voters. You may count out the rupees 46 is being spent by the election commission, because they started conversing many programs are there, awareness programs are there. Before they starting, you should go for the voting. It comes on the print media, it comes in the electronic media, it makes the expenses, and the average expenses come, it is coming 46. This rupees 46 looks very small, but if you multiply it by the number of voters in India they are, then just think it how much it will be. And the ratio comes, the candidate, the expenses 2 times, 2.5 to 3 times than the election commissions, even though the election commission has fixed it. So what should be the data? Means they are fixed for the MP election, member of parliament, Lok Sabha election. For the bigger state it is 70 lakhs, a smaller state it is 54 lakhs. Even though after we are finding it is very difficult to control the expenses that is being made by these parties. So this challenge is there. Then to whom the political party gives the candidate? If we exclude the few examples, then you may include yourself many examples where there is a nepotism. Means political party gives the ticket to their kith and kin, whether they are liable or not liable. Not necessary to disclose the name of the political parties. You see around in your state, the national party as the state party, and the candidates who are being given the tickets, are they or belonging to the same family or not? It means the real candidates who are at the grassroots level, they are not getting chance to come in front. And democracy would be successful only when the candidates from the grassroots level are coming in front, in the front line politics. Simply you just expand your view around yourself and see the different political parties. Are they supporting the nepotism, giving the tickets to their kith and kin? And if they are doing it, can't we say it is not a democratic one? It is a family party. So it is also a challenge, because there is a lack of internal democracy in most of the political parties. And when there is a lack of internal democracy, then who becomes the head of the party? Simply, in many cases, we find it is the family members. And if it is the family members, then what would happen to the people who are doing hard for the politics, and they do really understand the grievances the peoples, are they coming the front line? So expenses is their big challenge. Then the muscles power is the big challenge. Then the nepotism is the big challenge. Then in elections we also find there is a lack of internal democracy, and due to lack of internal democracy. The candidates who are being given the tickets who are not eligible and they have any criminal backgrounds. Sometimes it also be happens seen that if cases are against the candidate means peoples, they opt to contest election of becoming the MLA or MP. It has been being shown in the film also, because film also reflect the conditions of the society. What is happening in the society? So these are the challenges in front of the election commission to hold free and fair election. I do hope you might have understood to what are the challenges in front of the election commissions and how they try to control it. It is our responsibility to go through it. So I do hope go through it, this video as well as your textbook, to enhance your information. Thank you. Go for it.